Thanks for joining us on the news. Now, candidates are required to declare their bank assets, and INEC will set up a committee to monitor elections expenditure ahead of Nigeria's 2023 general elections. How do you react to this development?
This is a welcome development, and we urge INEC to ensure that the Electoral Act which has provision on implemented by the Electoral Umpire. And also, one very important thing that INEC must also do along with this intervention is to ensure that they ban the buying of both and also distribution of rice, salt, and other items in line with the provision of the law. Again, we need to also ensure that the assets declaration, which has been abused by many public office holders, is strictly complied with. If we are able to apply that, then it is possible that INEC can be able to work with other agencies to ensure that the issues of monetization or privatization of electoral process in Nigeria is addressed. Otherwise, if we go to 2023 with the same way and manner in which vote buying by public officials and even particularly the ruling party, which last time that happened in the name of trader money. If government continue to do that, it will make it difficult for INEC to monitor anything. So I think it is important that INEC work closely with the code of conduct to ensure that every candidate has declared asset and the asset verified before they go give him or her go ahead. If we don't also deal with issues of the way and manner in which money is being used to undermine the electorate and other contestants, it will be difficult for us to bring some level of sanity. Right now, a lot of people are using illicit financial money to finance election because election in Nigeria has virtually become commercialized and privatized. The level of inflows of money in the electoral process is so ridiculous that what some people do, they just bring in illicit financial money laundering to simply buy up position and get themselves there and their chronics. So by the time they are there, they are not able to do anything that will help bring good governance in the country because they see it as another process of continuing with money laundering rather than doing services or programs that can alleviate poverty and employment hunger and bring in some level of security in the country.
Now, while I'm so glad that you mentioned vote buying incidents and what it does to Nigeria, let's talk about vote buying and the weaponization of poverty by politicians. Beyond this menace, beyond the menace it causes, how do we reduce the influence of money in our policies to create a level playing field for the electorate? We do understand the latest developments and steps that INEC has taken, but how will they enforce that if INEC lacks the political will to go after these politicians?
So the absence of sanction in the way and manner in which politicians are going, about, engaging all these criminal activities or breaking the law is what is increasing the impunity. And one way to stop that is first and foremost is to ensure that there's a good lesson for anybody who break the law. Because you are within the ruling party, you decide to break the law and you get away with it, definitely it will be difficult for the INEC to take any decisive action. So the ruling party and all other political parties must ensure that at all levels, at state and national level, they actually deal with this issue by ensuring that any politician that brings in money to buy boards, that person, there must be action taken against him or her. Failure to do that is what is increasing the impunity and what is making the election and the electoral process to be totally money for money launderers. Because most of the people that are bringing in this money is not their money. It is a stolen money. It is money that is meant to provide good governance in Nigeria, that some people are siphoning this money and plunge it into election. So it is important that our courts, our judiciary, they are able to decisively deal with this issue. Anybody who breaks the law, once there's established, case against that person, irrespective of his political or her political affiliation, that person must face the law. Secondly, there's need for civil society to continue to intensify campaign and advocacy to reduce the use of money in politics, and also to ensure that Nigerians, they know their right. Because when Nigerians did not understand the implication of collecting 500 naira to mortgage their 4 years governance, I think that will be a very big challenging. So we are going to, as civil society, as Transition Monitoring Group and many other organizations, we are going to continue to embark on awareness creation among the voters, so that voters stop also getting their fundamental right.
Now, finally, before I let you go, it's 23 years of uninterrupted democratic experience. How much would you say Nigeria has fared, and from the last election cycle to today, have we moved the needle forward towards a progressive and more democratic society, looking at INEC as the election umpire?
I think it is a journey that has started. Sometimes, errors happen. Sometimes we see improvement. I can say that INEC, it's operation since 1999 to date. There are so many body to ensure that elections are done in a very smooth way in this country, so that it is no longer a do or die, or it is no longer an event that whenever you are doing election is like the whole country is sick. So I think we are making little progress. But with the controversy over refusal of the government to assent, the Electoral Act amendment, that will be a big, concern. Because if we have the Electoral Act amendment, at least it will help to ensure that our election, is done in a manner that responds to the modern technology, and also it will ensure more accountability or transparency in the process. And therefore, it is important, it is imperative that government understand the need to ensure that we have the electoral law that can help reduce electoral fraud, electoral misconduct in the country. Failure to have this Electoral Act amendment passed by the National Assembly and assented by the President and operationalized by INEC and complied by political parties and other stakeholders, it will be a huge gap. It will be a big challenge. So we are hoping that civil society, especially Transition Monitoring Group, will continue to advocate for proper implementation of even the law after it is even been assented by the Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Rafsanjani. It's a good place to leave that conversation. Thanks for joining us on the news. We appreciate your insights.
Thank you.